Fantasy Football Factory Week 7. I'm here with the King of the South, Mintzy. We got Moody on the sticks. I am Stephen Cheah, and we are, as always, brought to you by DraftKings. But have you seen the DraftKings Pick 6 app? Very, very cool. You pick a couple players to have more or less of a certain stat. Will Mike Evans, who looks like he's going to return on Monday, have more or less than 52.5 receiving yards? Will Bill Krusky Merritt have more or less than 59.5 rushing yards? Things like that. And you can combine more players, more picks for an even bigger payout. So check out the DraftKings Pick 6. If you download it and use our promo code FACTORY, FACTORY, and you play just $5, you're going to get $50 in bonus picks. So again, download the DraftKings Pick 6 app with code FACTORY, play 5, get 50 in bonus picks. All right, week 7, coming out of week 6, a little battered and bruised with some very notable fantasy players, most notably Puka Nacua, who left the game against Baltimore. He did come back and play 6 snaps. He is day-to-day, but then obviously they're going to hope to have him play this Sunday. We're taping this on Tuesday, so I'm not sure the injury news just yet. Something to monitor. But Emeka Egbuka, the front runner for Rookie of the Year prior to the injury right now, he is a little bit behind Jackson Dart in the DraftKings Sportsbook for Rookie of the Year. He is now, he's getting an MRI today. And I can tell you, looking at the Bucs schedule, he has a hamstring injury. He missed the whole second half on Sunday. They're playing this week. The Bucs are playing at Detroit on Monday night. Then they're playing the Saints, and then they have a bye. It would surprise me if he is not out at least through the bye. Hamstring injuries are tough. They don't just go away.
And you got to be careful. And also, when you look at where Tampa is, I mean, incredible start to the season. It's a long-run thing. Mm-hmm. They're trying to make a Super Bowl run. You know, we've seen them be careful of Mike Evans, who might be back this week. Bucky probably out another couple weeks. I mean, Chris Godwin's down. I mean, it really is unbelievable what they're doing. I mean, Baker's got a third offensive coordinator in 3 years. All their top guys are out. They've had O-line injuries, and they're still finding a way. And the way they run their organization, I'd be shocked if they were in any hurry to bring him back. I think it's a long-run thing.
Yeah, with the bye coming up, Bucky, so we're taping this again on Tuesday, Bucky and Chris Godwin have already been ruled out for next Monday, which is not great. But that would suggest that they are going to be, both of them, out through the bye. Godwin's injury is a new injury. It seems like an ankle area injury, I think to his other ankle, not the one he just had surgery on. So that's kind of a whole mess. Also, they're starting right tackle. There are differing reports. Adam Schefter said on his podcast that they lost 2 offensive linemen for the year, referring to Gedeke. It doesn't sound like he's going to be out for the year, but if Schefter said it, he obviously heard it somewhere. So that is certainly a worry. But the Bucs are rolling right now, so hopefully they can get back healthy. What does this do for you, Mintzy, for Bucs fantasy value? How are you judging like Baker Mayfield throughout the years? Rashad White, an RB1 for you.
Well, Rashad White, you got to start as an RB1 while Bucky's out, just because he can catch balls, the touchdown potential, and he's running. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just anytime you got a guy that can catch the ball, get the goal line, and get carries, mm-hmm. You know, even if he has 30 or 40 yards rushing, he can still impact the game tremendously. So as long as Bucky's out, he's a 1. Baker's weight. I mean, Baker could. I think he'd be the MVP if it was right now. Mm-hmm. So you're starting him no matter what. They're finding a way. And Evans coming back, and that over/under in Detroit's one of the highest of the year at 52.5. So you're still rolling with them. If you're looking in really deep leagues, it's interesting whether you want to add Tez or the other undrafted rookie free agent.
Yeah, Cam Johnson. I would be a little bit hesitant for both, but what I will say is that, the over-under for Monday night is 52.5. Mike Evans is supposed to be back. I would imagine he's going to be on some type of pitch count. They don't really have a lot of guys to throw to. If you look at the game script, after Egbuka went out, they did run the ball a lot more with Rashad White, and they were having success doing that. Will they have success against Detroit? We'll see. I will say that a guy who's been underutilized, he did score a touchdown this past week, but his only carry is Sean Tucker. And he's a guy who I think could emerge as a little bit more fantasy viable this Monday and beyond if Bucky is out and if the receiver situation is what it is. But we'll see. Like Sterling Shepard is a guy you could potentially play. I don't think he has a huge game. I think Tez has the highest ceiling. I think Cam Johnson can give you a little bit. But those are for Monday games. We're here to talk about the classic slate as we always are. Let's go through that now.
We got some interesting ones this week. The Commanders Dallas is, I think, the highest over-under of the year.
Real high, 55.5 right now. So we're going to talk about the Sunday DFS slate for DraftKings, the classic one. So we're excluding Pittsburgh, Cincinnati on Thursday night. We're excluding a pretty good game in the morning, the Rams and the Jags being played in London. So it starts with the Vrabel Bowl, New England going to Tennessee. The Patriots, the division-leading Patriots, favored by 7.5 on the road. We got New Orleans.
That game strikes me as like, I know it's weird because I'm not a teaser guy, but Vrabel ain't losing to the Titans, man. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I'm laying 7, but like, he ain't losing the game.
Yeah. We got New Orleans, a game close to you. We got New Orleans going to Chicago, 46.5 the total. Bears favored by 5.5.
I want to mention real quick, too, we're going to have a big Barstool Chicago party at Timothy O'Toole's for that with all the Chicago crew and T-Bob, Megan, and I representing the Louisiana contingent. So that's going to be fun on Sunday.
Very cool. And then we got Miami going to Cleveland. Cleveland, 2.5-point favorites, 40.5 is the under for that one. That's a tough number. Carolina going to the Jets. Carolina favored by 1.5 on the road. 41.5 is total. Interesting nugget from that game. The Panthers 0-3 on the road this year. Average score 32-16.
Yeah, I watched Wake Up Barstool this morning. The Bryce Young is the worst quarterback ever north of the Mason-Dixon line. Also, we didn't mention Garrett Wilson's injury.
Yeah, Garrett Wilson. So right now he's listed as doubtful, but it looks like he could miss some time. The Jets are going to be a little bit of a mess right now if they weren't already.
I like them this week though.
I do too.
I like this. They're 0-6. They got to get one. Carolina's terrible on the road.
Yep.
I think. That was one of the ones I liked looking at the games early.
Yeah, Philly going to Minnesota.
Carson Wentz playing the Eagles.
Yes, Carson Wentz looks like he'll be the starting quarterback against his former team. 43.5 is total. Philly favored by 1.5 on the road. Las Vegas going to Kansas City. This is a giant spread, 12.5 points. The Chiefs are favored by 45.5 is total. Giants going to Denver. The Broncos favored by 6.5 at home. 40.5 is that total. A sneaky fun game. Colts at Chargers. Chargers 1.5 favorite. 48.5 is total. That is in LA. And then the game Mintzy mentioned, Washington going to Dallas. These teams hate each other. We got Washington favored by 1.5 on the road. 55.5 is the total. And the final game of the classic slate is Green Bay going to Arizona. The Packers favored by 6.5. 44.5 is the total. Moody, what stands out to you in the slate?
Well, obviously, Commanders, Cowboys, this Dallas defense, even though it looked better last week for a little bit, this is still a bad defense. So I expect this to be a shootout. Look, you could throw Dak in the MVP conversation right now, too. He's second to Matthew Stafford in passing yards. He's dead even. He's actually got one more touchdown than Baker Mayfield. He's got 13. Baker has 12. Like, Dak is playing some really good football right now. And I don't know that he's getting as much respect as he deserves because the Cowboys are 2-3-1.
The record not, he can't be in the MVP conversation.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And then think about how many points they had to score and to get the tie and the wins.
40, yeah.
I agree he's not the MVP, but I'm saying he's playing at that MVP caliber right now. Okay. He's really been slinging it, and there's a chance they get CD back. Something to pay attention to this week. If CD comes back, that is obviously adds fuel to the fire for Dak. I think that's a high-scoring, really fun game. I really like Jaden Daniels in that game, too, because as I've talked about week after week, this Dallas defense is just terrible. And then I guess the other one I'm looking at, I think the Chiefs score a lot of points against the Raiders. Rashee Rice coming back. Patrick Mahomes right there in that MVP conversation as well. He's playing some damn good football once again. I think the Chiefs are going to score a lot of points. So those are two games that I'm looking at as far as fantasy is concerned. And then probably Chicago against the Saints. Feels like a game. Chicago building momentum. I think they score a lot of points against New Orleans at home.
They could go on a bit of a run.
They could. I saw that schedule this morning.
Yeah, it's they're playing just the Ravens in the next 4 weeks in a game where Lamar Jackson is probably going to return, in which case that's the only game they won't be favored in. So the Bears are making some noise. Mintzy, what game stands out to you
Moody,
on that slate?
Moody hit the obvious one. The Commanders-Cowboys really stands out. That one, that Saints-Bears is over under 46.5. That one's sneaky. Could be a little higher scoring.
Mm-hmm.
That one wouldn't really surprise me. But then there's a lot of whatevers. I actually think there might be some value in the Jets-Panthers game, which I know seems hard to believe. Because the thing with Fields, Man, when he looks bad, it's 13-11. That was
Didn't throw the ball at all in the first half.
how many passing yards they have?
At halftime, was it at
Negative
one point?
10?
At one point, he had 2.
Yeah, but the thing is I think this might be a week where he has a good game because Carolina's so bad on the road.
Yep.
But I kind of think that could affect Breece Hall as well. But yeah, and the Chiefs Raiders, the question is can the Raiders score to stay in it? Because the Chiefs are so much better. But that over-under at 45.5 is worth looking at. And look, Drake May's cooking. I mean, I know Tennessee, probably not the shootout situation, but, the man's hot. You got to give him credit.
Yeah, I agree. The Jets-Carolina game in East Rutherford, New Jersey, does stand out to me. 41.5 is total. Bryce Young, 0-5 career above the Mason-Dixon line as an NFL player. Not good. He's thrown for over 200 yards one time. His last 4 games, he's thrown 1 total touchdown. So it's tough sledding for him. And this year, it seems to be translating. Carolina 3-0 at home, 0-3 on the road with just some maddening splits. So they're on the road against a winless Jets team who I think we can all agree are not going to go winless. So they're going to win at some point.
No, I think this is especially off the London bad. This is the spot.
Yeah.
Like them, and then when I looked at the early lines, I like Cleveland against Miami. I think we'll get to it in fantasy, but there's a certain situation in that game that's going to be good for DraftKings. But yeah, I agree with you. I think this is the week the Jets get it done, and I think that there may be sneaky fantasy value there. All
right, let's talk about the classic slate with the players. Start with the quarterbacks. Quarterback market. Patrick Mahomes is atop of that against the Raiders, $7,000. Jaden Daniels a notch below at $6,900. Jalen Hurts, $6,700. Dak Prescott with a high-scoring matchup, $6,500. Goes down by hundreds after that. You can get all the way down to Tyrod Taylor, if he starts, $4,200. Dylan Gabriel, the lowest starter at the moment, $4,400. Mintzy, who stands out to you?
Well, Moody already said the Jaden Daniels thing. He's somebody I'm looking at. And then I mentioned the Fields, $5,700. I think that this is they got to get a win, which means he's going to run. This is an all hands on deck situation, and I think at $5,700 the value's there. And Caleb Williams at $5,800 is also not a bad value.
Moody, who do you like in the quarterback market?
I do have Jaden Daniels as my number 1 option this week, especially if Terry McLaurin returns. I feel like that's just a big boost for them. I'm going to keep an eye on that. I like Daniels a lot. I do like Fields as well. Another name that I'm looking at on the cheaper side, Spencer Rattler at $4,800 against Chicago. That's not a good Bears defense either. I mean, I think there's some legitimate value there. Spencer Rattler, he's playing fine. He's not good by any means, but he's playing
been better.
fine.
He's definitely been better than I expected him to be.
He was terrible last year. He's been definitely better than that.
Yeah.
I mean, he hadn't been that bad.
But I think at $4,800, there is good value there in a game that they're likely playing from behind in the second half. So if McLaurin plays, I'm definitely running Daniels out there, maybe running him out there anyways. If McLaurin sits, maybe I shift my sights to Spencer Rattler.
Does anybody have the stones to start Carson Wentz against his old team? It's not going to be me. I'm not going to start Carson Wentz. I think Jaden Daniels is the play. Dak Prescott certainly at $6,500 to keep that game competitive. Could be interesting, especially if CeeDee Lamb returns. But I agree. I think Justin Fields. I think I'm firmly in on the Jets winning this weekend.
I am too.
And in that case, Justin Fields is going to have an awesome game because who else will? I guess Breece Hall.
Breece Hall could. Carolina's run D ain't good.
Yeah, Derek Brown's been playing good though.
Who would be the receiver at this point that catches anything?
I looked. Josh Reynolds.
Mason Taylor, maybe.
Yeah,
Mason Taylor.
From receiver position, Josh Reynolds is next up. It's not a lot of inspiring names. All right, running backs. Let's go over those. Top of the market, Jonathan Taylor, $8,800. And guys, if we go over someone you really want to is going to be in every one of your lineups, plant your flag during that time.
Okay.
Jonathan Taylor, $8,800. Devon Achane, $8,100. Josh Jacobs, $7,800. Saquon Barkley, $7,700. Ashton Genty, $7,000. Rico Dowdle, the hottest running back in the league, 389 yards the past 2 weeks. You need him in your lineup if you're going to survive DFS. $6,800. You can get all the way down to Hassan Haskins is $4,500. Braden Smith is $4,100. So you can get down to the mid to low fours if you need. Moody, who stands out to you in the running back market?
I love a pair of rookie running backs this week. I'm going to start with JCM against Dallas. His vision is absolutely incredible. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, Bill, he may have some of the best vision in the entire NFL. Cowboys run defense, not good. Obviously, we've talked a ton about how many points they give up defensively. If you watch the game against the Jets a couple weeks ago, Brees Hall was running it down their throats. He fumbled a couple times in that game, which really hurt them and him. But I think JCM could have a big game against the Cowboys. And then I'm ready to plant my flag right now. You know who it is, Mintzy. You know who it is,
I
Cheah.
mean, you beat me too. If he'd have gone to me first, I would have had my plant my flag.
It's the guy that I told y'all to draft with the last pick in drafts beginning of the season. It's Quinshon Judkins against the Miami Dolphins. Miami is horrible against the run. Judkins coming off his worst season or his worst game so far, but he has been really good. He's a clear workhorse. He may be the leading workhorse in the NFL right now as far as the amount of touches he's getting versus the rest of the backfield. Quinshon Judkins at 6,000. The Browns are going to win this game, and they're going to win it because of their defense and the fact that Quinshon Judkins is going for over 140 and 2 scores.
Ooh.
I love Quinshon Judkins this week. He's dropping a career game against that awful Miami run defense. This is the moment. And look, he's going to be a league winner. I told y'all before the season you needed to get him in your drafts. I hope you did.
Wow, I love that. All right, Mintzy, who stands out to you in the running backs?
I'm so pissed because I was waiting on my plant my flag Quinshon because I loved him too. I have a quick question on do we know Jalen Carter's health status? Because
he missed the game with a heel injury, to be determined for this coming week.
Okay, that's something to keep your eye on. If Jalen Carter's out, Jordan Mason's my plant my flag. I hit on him big against the Bengals a few weeks ago on my plant my flag. The Eagles' run defense in the 2 games he's been out, when he got ejected before the Dallas game and then the Giants game, if he's out, their run defense goes to shit. I mean, it is crazy how noticeable it's been. So I got to watch that going forward. But if he's out, I'm on Jordan Mason. Moody already said everything I thought about Quinshon Judkins. He's in every one of my lineups this week. Absolutely love him. But those are kind of the two that I was liking the most. When I looked at it, as far as the top guys go,
$8,800 is a lot of money.
Yeah, no, that's what I thought too, man. It's too much. I don't like the Miami at Cleveland matchup at all. I think
aside from Judkins.
Yeah, I mean, I think Tua is going to really struggle. Cleveland's D-line is going to cook.
Tua's calling people out for being late to meetings, late to players-only meetings.
That's the Miami culture we've been talking about. They don't respect McDaniel, and when it's a situation where it starts going bad, the rats start jumping off the ship.
Yeah.
And they don't respect Tua either. I mean, I don't think there's any respect for any of the leaders of that team.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one other guy I want to mention is DeAndre Swift at 5,700. He had a hell of a game last night, and the Saints' defense isn't very good.
Yeah. One I'd look at, or two I'd look at, Josh Jacobs going against Arizona, $7,800 if you have the money. I think that he's a very, very good option. I think you got to consider Rico Dowdle. It's hard to not – if you were making money on DFS the past couple weeks, Rico Dowdle had to have been in your lineup. Like, he is on fire right now. That's one where I don't think we agree that Carolina's going to win the game. They've been kind of firmly in control, at least in contention for the last 2 weeks. Could be a different story this week going into the Jets, but you got to at least consider Rico Dowdle at 6,800. But then Javonte Williams, 6,700 going against Washington. Again, that game's so high scoring. Williams kind of bottled up this week. He is one that I would look into. And then, we saw DeAndre Swift go for 177 total last night against Washington. So Javonte Williams could be something in the neighborhood if he has a big game. Let's go into the receiver market. Justin Jefferson, top of the market, 7,600. CeeDee Lamb, 7,500. George Pickens, 7,300. Big drop to Rome Odunze, 6,600. Ted McMillan, 6,400. It goes down by hundreds after that. You can get all the way down to, if you're going to want to go bargain basement shopping, Lil Jordan Humphrey, who got quite a few targets, is $3,100 this week. Mintzy, who stands out to you of the pass catchers?
I got a few. I got to give Tyler Moody a shout out. He said, "Don't panic on Ladd McConkey." Finally had a good game.
Yeah.
Finally had a good game. 6,000 is a good value in what could be a high-scoring game, but that over-under be 48.5. Got to watch the Washington situation because Moody pointed it out. If McLaurin plays, he could have a game. If he's out, Debo had a bad game last night, but somebody's got to catch the damn ball. A few other guys I like. Look, I'm just saying it right now. I know it's his first game back, and he got hurt last year and all that, but you're never going to get a cheaper price than $5,600 Rashee Rice. If you're playing full point PPR, this is a dude that he catch like 7 to 10 balls a game because he gets so many short targets. And, I'm not saying he gets 10 catches his first game back, but at that price, it's too good. And then the last guy I got is Olave at $5,400. Against the Bears, because we talked about Rattler being a little underrated. Saints could be playing from behind, and he gets a lot of targets.
I feel like Rashee Rice is going to be the most popular touchdown bet this week.
Yeah, I don't know about the touchdown thing, but I'm going to be watching DraftKings for his receptions over under, because I wonder how high they'll go. Because the thing with him is he gets so many short targets. I mean, that's how they just get it out to him so quick.
Yeah. Obviously, I think Justin Jefferson is very, very good. He's going to be $7,600. I doubt they have Quinshon Mitchell travel with him. If he's in the slot, Cooper DeJean's a good player, but there are going to be matchups where Justin Jefferson's going to win most of those times. $7,600. George Pickens, I think you have to give a hard look at, coming off a monster game against Carolina where he went for, I think, 168 and a touchdown in a 55.5 point total game. Obviously, monitor the CeeDee Lamb situation, but if he's out $7,300, I think is a steal for him. And then one I would look at that's way down the list, or two, Jordan Addison, $5,100. He's not way down the list, but on the cheaper side, Jordan Addison, $5,100. The Eagles' weakness is cornerback too, and that is who typically Jordan Addison is going to be going against. If he's not matched up on Quinshon Mitchell, I think that's a big win, and Jordan Addison could have a very big game. And then Troy Franklin, $3,900. I think that's a nice price for a guy who could have a big game, along with little Jordan Humphrey at $3,100, who got a lot of targets last week against the Eagles. So those are a couple bargain basement ones I would take a look at if you want to spend your money elsewhere. Tight ends, let's talk about that.
Sorry. I got that.
Did I go receivers here? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, all good, though. Y'all actually touched on a few of the guys. I do like Ladd McConkey this week. I got to throw Tedero McMillan back out there once again.
Yep.
Coming off his best week as a professional, two touchdowns. I still love the value you're getting on him at $6,400. I think he's someone to consider. And then one other name that I really like this week, Courtland Sutton. Going against the Giants pass defense that's one of the bottom in the league. I think this is a really good game for Bo Nix. I think the Denver wins this game. I know there's a lot of hype right now about the Giants and everything. I think Denver kind of makes a statement in this game, shuts that hype down, and I think Courtland Sutton has a really big showing at $5,900.
Okay, I like that. Let's talk tight ends. Trey McBride, top of the market, $5,700. Jake Ferguson, $5,500. Tyler Warren, $5,200. Brock Bowers, status we don't know right now, $5,000. You can get all the way. Taysom Hill, $3,000.
Got the end zone.
He did. Mintzy, who do you like in the tight end market?
I guess it's a couple of teams ago, but he finally had a good game and has gotten healthy. It's the Evan Ingram against the New York Giants.
Where do you go to school?
University of Mississippi, baby. But Ingram, kind of new team in Denver. I like the fit with him and Sean Payton's offense with Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
He was the only guy who had a decent game in that London game last week. So I think he's kind of emerging, coming on. He's playing his old team. I like him this week.
All right. Moody, who stands out to you in the tight end market?
I haven't been doing it, and I'm an idiot for not doing it. I think I'm just going to start throwing Tyler Warren in my lineup every week and just rolling with it. He's the most consistent tight end in the NFL right now. I mean, he's got one game below 7 points. Everything else is double digits. I mean, he's been sensational every single week. They're running wildcats with him around the goal line. I mean, he is the most versatile tight end in the NFL right now. I mean, his target share is good. He's getting minimum 5 to 7 targets. That's the low end. His high on the season's 9. I mean, the consistency with which the Colts are using him is very good. I like Tyler Warren this week. And then I think another name we have to keep looking at on the cheap side is Darren Waller. I mean, they're throwing him the ball in the red zone. They don't really have any other receivers outside of Waddle. I think Waller is another name to pay attention to, but Tyler Warren right now, the safest bet in the tight end market.
Yep, I like that. I think Jake Ferguson we also should mention a game with a 55.5 point total, depending on what happens with CeeDee Lamb, but I think that's a good value. But I'm gonna plant my flag right now because you gotta save some money in some portions. I glossed over it when you mentioned his name. Mason Taylor, $3,400. He had one target last week for 2 yards. The whole Jets offense was terrible and didn't really throw the ball at all. The 3 weeks prior to that, 25 total targets, averaging 6 catches a week. I think at $3,400, yeah, maybe he's not going to put up, he's not going to put up Tyler Warren type numbers. He might not put up 100 yards and a touchdown and maybe 5-10 rushing yards. But I think that you could get for $3,400 on DraftKings, you could get 6 catches for 60 yards, maybe a touchdown. I think that's the value you're looking for in Mason Taylor. I think that's a guy you're going to want to put in your lineup because he's going to let you afford the guys you really want in your lineup, which are the Justin Jeffersons, the George Pickens, the Jonathan Taylors, the Josh Jacobs, those type of guys. So Mason Taylor, I think, is a steal coming off a 1-target, 1-catch, 2-yard game. He is a guy I'm starting in every one of my lineups this weekend. All right, let's talk defense special teams. Chiefs, top of the market, going against the Raiders, 3,700. Packers going against Cardinals, 3,600. It goes down by hundreds all the way down to the Raiders. Going against the Chiefs for $2,000. Moody, who do you like on defense?
I do like the Chiefs a lot this week at 3,700. I don't think I have enough money to fit them in there, so I'm going with the Browns at 3K. I mentioned earlier, I think they're gonna run the damn football. They're gonna play defense, and this is an underrated defense. I mean, they're not getting torched by anyone. They're very competitive defensively. Tua he turned the ball over 3 times last week. He's a sack waiting to happen as well. I think the Browns have a very good game here defensively. Give me the Browns at 3K.
I have nothing to add whatsoever other than Moody. That's it. I have Cleveland too.
We think the Jets are going to win. They're playing Bryce Young and the Panthers, who we've seen turn the ball over quite a bit. Give me the Jets at $2,600. Save a little bit of money on defense. If we think they're going to win, they're going to have to do it with running the ball and defense. New York Jets, $2,600. They're going to win. Their defense is going to play well. This is going to be a winning formula in DFS this week.
Jets, Jets.
They're gonna win a game. They're going to win a game. This is the week, I think. All right. Any closing thoughts from you boys?
Man,
I like Golden in my flex at 4,700. I think that's where I'm going to go. I have to have some cheap money spent somewhere. I think he continues to emerge week after week. His numbers are going up every single week. He's been in the double digits each week. He's going to have a big game sooner or later. I think this could be a week against Arizona. So Matthew Golden, it's 4,700. Who's going to my flex?
He has had a catch of 30 or more yards in 3 straight games, I believe. So, yeah, definitely a name to keep an eye on.
I wonder that longest catch prop you always like.
I know, yeah. So his last 3 games, 34, 46, 35. If I'm being honest, the longest play prop, the one I like Alec Pierce for this. I think Matthew Golden is one I'm going to be taking a look at hard this week. Jordan Love throwing it. His is always super high. It's like 38.5 or 37.5, but it seems like they do that every time because they're just running the ball, shot over the top, and they got yak guys. So, yeah, Matthew
the other cheap guy, real cheap that I think could have an okay game. It's on, but they may get down. But I think Kendre Miller, 4,900, could get some carries against Chicago because that Bears defense is bad against the run.
Yeah. All right, be on the lookout for those plays. Let us know what your plays are. Drop them in the comments who you're starting, who you're playing your flag guy is. But that is it for Week 7. For the King of the South, Mintzy. For Moody, I am Stephen Cheah. Hopefully we see you this week in the Winner's Circle.